The Arctic. Above the ice, it is a kingdom of silence and white. But beneath the surface, in the crushing black water that never sees the sun, something moves. It does not swim like a predator. It drifts, like a landslide underwater, a ghost made of gristle and time. This is the Greenland shark, Somniosis microcephalus. To look into its eye is to look into the past, because this animal is not just living in the Arctic. It is living through history, through empires, through extinction events. While we are born, live, and die in the blink of an eye, this shark is still swimming where the Vikings rode. Today, we are telling the true story of the vertebrae that beat time itself. Let's paint the picture. You are a marine biologist in northern Baffin Bay. The water temperature is -2 degrees Celsius, colder than the freezing point of fresh water. You are looking for something that has evaded understanding for 400 years. Your submersible lights cut through the particulate. For hours, nothing. Just the eternal dark. Then, a shape. At first, you think it is a rotting log, a piece of the seafloor that has come unmoored. But then, it turns. The Greenland shark does not have the pointed, Hollywood snout of a great white. Its face is blunt, almost beaten, and its flesh, it looks diseased. A pale, purplish gray that seems to absorb light rather than reflect it. But the eyes. You notice the eyes first. A tiny parasitic crustacean called Omatocoida elongata hangs from each cornea, literally blinding the animal. It dangles there like a pale, stringy noodle. And yet, the shark is blind. Completely blind. And it is not weak. It is the apex predator of the deepest, coldest ocean on Earth. How do you hunt what you cannot see? How do you survive what nothing else can? To answer that, we have to look at the blood. Literally. Most fish, when the water drops below freezing, become popsicles. Their cells crystallize. They burst. They die. But the Greenland shark found a cheat code. Inside its tissues, it produces 2 unique compounds: trimethylamine N-oxide, or TMAO, and urea. Now, you might recognize urea. It's what mammals pee out. It's toxic waste. But for this shark, urea is armor. The Greenland shark raises its own internal concentration of urea and TMAO to astronomical levels. So high that if any other fish tried this, their proteins would unravel. Their enzymes would denature. In the Greenland shark, this acts as a cryoprotectant, a biological antifreeze that keeps its cellular machinery running when the mercury sinks. But there is a horrific side effect. That urea doesn't just stay inside. It leaches into the flesh. It makes the meat of the Greenland shark incredibly toxic, a neurotoxin cocktail that causes drunkenness, convulsions, and eventually respiratory failure in mammals. The Inuit knew this for thousands of years. They call it igalajuk. If you eat it fresh, you die. To eat it, you must bury the meat in a gravel pit for months. Let it freeze-thaw. Let the ammonia leach out. And only then can you eat the predator that time forgot. But here is the insane part. That toxicity, that blindness, they aren't disadvantages. They are evolutionary genius. How does a blind, sluggish, toxic shark catch anything in the dark? The answer lies in the skull. Biologists dissected the Greenland shark's head and found something extraordinary. The olfactory bulbs, the part of the brain responsible for smell, are massive, proportionally larger than any other shark species. This animal smells in high definition. In the Arctic deep, there are no light cues. There is only the chemical trail of decay, of distress, of prey. The Greenland shark can detect a single drop of fish blood in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It can smell a wounded seal from over a kilometer away.
But it isn't just hunting, it's waiting. This shark is slow, the slowest swimming shark relative to its size on the planet. Top speed, less than 1 mile per hour. A human can backstroke faster than this shark sprints. So how does it catch fast prey like the Arctic seal? It cheats. Recent data from biologging tags revealed a terrifying behavior. The Greenland shark does not chase. It stalks. It waits in the pitch black, drifting motionless. When a seal falls asleep in the water, and seals do fall asleep, bobbing at the surface, the shark approaches. Not with a burst of speed, with a yawn. The shark opens its massive mouth. The vacuum pressure in the cold water sucks the sleeping seal inside before it can wake up. Or, in the deep ocean, it scavenges. The Greenland shark is the vulture of the abyss. It follows the scent of dead whales, drowned belugas, even polar bears that fell through the ice. It doesn't need speed. It needs patience. And it has more patience than anything else on Earth. Now we get to the myth, the legend, the thing that broke science. For decades, fishermen told stories. They said the Greenland shark lived for hundreds of years. Scientists laughed. They said it was impossible. No vertebrate could live that long. Then, in 2016, a team of researchers at the University of Copenhagen did the impossible. They used radiocarbon dating. But you cannot age a shark by counting its scales. You have to look at its eye. Specifically, the lens of the eye. The lens of a shark's eye is made of proteins that are formed before the shark is born. Those proteins do not change. They do not metabolize. They are a time capsule. The team took 28 female Greenland sharks. They measured the carbon-14 isotopes in their eye lenses. Carbon-14 comes from nuclear bomb tests in the 1950s. If a shark had high levels, it was born after the bombs. If it had low levels, it was born before. When they ran the numbers, the lead author, Julius Nielsen, sat down in his chair and didn't speak for 10 minutes. The largest shark they caught was 5.4 meters long. The computer model estimated its age range. Not 100 years. Not 200 years. Between 272 and 512 years old. Let me say that again. The shark they caught in 2016 might have been born in the year 1504. That is the same year Michelangelo finished sculpting David. That is 100 years before Isaac Newton discovered gravity. That is before the King James Bible was printed. That shark was swimming in the Arctic Ocean while the Ming Dynasty ruled China, while Henry VIII was marrying Catherine of Aragon, while the Aztec Empire was still standing. And it is still out there. We don't know if that specific shark is alive, but statistically, given the margin of error, there is a very high chance that somewhere, right now, in the Baffin Bay, there is a Greenland shark that was alive when Galileo pointed a telescope at Jupiter. How do you cheat time? You slow everything down. The Greenland shark has the lowest metabolic rate of any shark. Its heart beats only once every 12 seconds. To put that in perspective, your heart will beat over 100,000 times today. The Greenland shark's heart beats about 7,200 times per day. Less work, less oxidative stress, less cellular damage. It grows at a rate of less than 1 centimeter per year. A human fingernail grows faster than this shark gets longer. A female Greenland shark doesn't even reach sexual maturity until she is over 150 years old. 150 years old. and she is a teenager. Think about the implications. A Greenland shark born in the year 1850, just before the American Civil War, would only just be ready to mate. Today. This changes how we define life. We think of life as fast, as furious, as constant motion. The Greenland shark suggests that life is a negotiation, a trade-off. You want to live in the cold? Fine. You will be slow. You will be blind. You will be toxic. But in return, you will see the millennia pass like days.
But for all we know almost nothing. We have never, not once, filmed a Greenland shark hunting in the wild. We have never found a Greenland shark nursery. We don't know where they give birth. We don't know what the babies look like. We don't know how they mate. We have theories. Terrifying theories. Stomach contents have been found containing the remains of reindeer, horses, even a polar bear jaw. How does a blind, slow 1 mile per hour shark catch a polar bear? It doesn't. The polar bear was already dead. But was it? Some researchers propose that the Greenland shark may hunt sleeping marine mammals by ambush. Others suggest they are purely scavengers. But then, why the toxins? Why the massive jaws? Why the serrated teeth designed for slicing flesh, not crushing bone? The truth is, the Greenland shark is a ghost. We see its body. We do not know its soul. We don't even know why it goes blind. The parasite Omatocoida is almost always there. But scientists argue, does the parasite cause the blindness? Or does the shark get the parasite because it is already blind and doesn't notice? Or, and here is the wild theory, does the shark use the parasite? Do those dangling appendages act as lures? Bioluminescent fishing rods in the dark? We don't know.
If you are listening to this and you feel a sense of awe, I need you to also feel a sense of urgency. The Greenland shark is the longest living vertebrate on Earth. It has survived the Little Ice Age. It has survived whaling. It has survived everything. But it might not survive us. Climate change is warming the Arctic 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. The Greenland shark is cold specialized. Its enzymes work only at near freezing temperatures. If the water warms by just 3 degrees, its metabolism might not speed up. It might crash. The urea balance might tip. The antifreeze might fail. And then there is bycatch. Hundreds of Greenland sharks are caught accidentally in trawl nets and long lines every year. Fishermen call them gurry sharks. They cut the lines, they throw them back. But for a 400-year-old animal, the trauma of being dragged to the surface, the pressure change, the heat shock, is often a death sentence. We are killing the sharks that swam when Shakespeare wrote sonnets, and we don't even keep a record of it. Why does this matter? Why should we care about a blind, toxic, sluggish fish at the top of the world? Because the Greenland shark is a mirror. We humans are obsessed with speed, with productivity, with finishing the race. We measure our worth in heartbeats, in seconds, in the number of sunrises we see. The Greenland shark offers a different path. It says, you do not have to be fast to be successful. You do not have to see clearly to be aware. You do not have to be young to be strong.
If that shark could speak, it would tell stories we cannot comprehend. It would tell us about a time before engines, before electricity, before nations. It would tell us that the ocean was once silent, that the ice was once permanent, that the dark was once absolute.
And then it would ask us, in its blind, ancient way, what we did with our few, fast years. So the next time you look at the night sky and you feel small, remember the Greenland shark. Right now, deep beneath the pack ice, a creature that saw the Renaissance is swimming. Its fins are ragged, its skin is scarred, its eyes are white with ancient parasites. But its heart beats. Once every 12 seconds. Steady as a clock. Waiting for the next seal to fall asleep. Waiting for the next century to begin. The sleeper of the small head. The emperor of the slow lane. The only living witness to the last 500 years of human history. And if we're not careful, the last one to see the next 100. Stay curious. For more on the creatures that defy biology, subscribe. And tell me in the comments, if you could ask a 500-year-old shark one question, what would it be?